Uh, Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to another episode of Edessa, the Dark Crusade, season 2. Today, well, for most people, it was a day like any other, despite the strange going-ons a few nights ago. But people kept to their everyday life. The merchant sell his wares. The blacksmith made weapon, made armor, and the regular people, the other people, just did what they do every day. Walked around town, met friends. But as the day went away and as the sun set and gave way to his sister, the moon, these people, the kindred, the Cainite, the children of the night, the vampires, for lack of a better term, awoke, their eyes opened, and their body came somewhat back to life again. And today, well, the primogen of the clan of Roses is at her bathhouse, and she isn't expecting anyone, but well, she knows that kindred often come here. She'll be waiting in still one of her beautiful, beautiful silk robes, probably with a glass of what looks like wine, but is it wine? We're not sure.
Yeah, there is, I'm guessing, people, customers at the house. But one of the customers is Madeline, who arrives alone. She's, she seems relaxed as always. And, yeah, she will just enter and she will just have a look around, see if, well, the mistress or whatever she calls herself is home.
Yes,
Primogen.
Madeline has come here a few times. The people that work here, her ghouls, um, know who she is, and so they'll ask if she wants to see the mistress. And if she says yes, they'll guide her to the room where she usually stays. So the large bath. She'll probably be won't she'll well she'll probably have her feet in the bath, playing with her hair, and she'll see Madeline, and she'll get up and give a courtesy bow.
Hmm. The
You
gesture
Madeline.
is returned, and she just says, "My Primogen, good evening."
Good evening. I hope you have been well these last few nights.
I have been well, thank you.
Good to know.
Is this your private quarters? I forget.
It can be. If you wish to speak to me alone, I can ask for my workers to not let anyone in.
Oh,
Otherwise, only our kind.
hmm.
But anyone of our kind is allowed here.
I was wondering whether or not I could join you.
Oh, of course.
Madeline smiles. Yeah, and Madeline just undresses and gets in the bath.
How have you been?
Hmm. Quite well. I am remiss not to think of many of the challenges we have.
Indeed. We, just a few nights ago, were attacked. Although, hmm, given the opponents, I wouldn't say that was much of a challenge. Just a bunch of fools thinking attacking Edessa was a good idea, not knowing the powers of people that were inside.
I have heard some of it, but I have not heard details. Were you there?
Yes, I came and I was with others, of course. The sheriff, as it is his duty to protect the city. And so I think with the sheriff, and there was Lady Irene, and I keep forgetting Robbie's character's name. The
Aldrich.
Tremere, Ulrich, and Ulrich,
Why?
Aldrich, and Arcadir. There was fire, and as we went to help, we were attacked. They were out to kill, apparently. They went for Aldrich's friend, but we came in time to rescue her. They were surprisingly weak, even for neonates. We dispatched of them quickly and made sure to take some of them for questioning.
They are in violation of domain. Their lives are forfeit, but perhaps the prince will find it in her mercy to let them atone for their mistakes.
I expect that depends on their reasons for doing what they were doing. But I'm sure they regret doing it. They saw what happens to their friends who weren't as lucky as them.
So this is this half-wit prince who would challenge Edessa. If one were to be careful and cunning, one would say that this was cannon fodder to mask, well, another attack more carefully concealed or coming in another way, but well, maybe it does not lend much to one's respect for the man. But oh well.
It shall nod, of course. Although I doubt they saw it as them being cannon fodder. Or maybe they are. They did and just didn't care. Either way, what they did was foolish. Their own actions, of course. Damn it, Max.
Quite. Oh well. Such is their problem. I will not interject myself in official interviews, interrogations, whatever you would call it. It is for the sheriff and the scourge.
I shall nod. But nevertheless, Odessa still stands, and we managed to defend it from any meaningful damage.
This city has seen worse, much worse. Oh, by the way, would your servants have to? Well, I would not wish to presume, but perhaps we could have refreshments. I see you have. I would have thought of bringing my own wine, my dear Imogen, but alas.
Of course. And yeah, people will come. There will be some mortals there that will offer their arms.
Well, no. She's asking for food and wine.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
She's actually
Yeah,
not
no.
asking
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, there'll be food and wine. The people will, some mortals still will bring food and wine.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, on the outside of the bathhouse, so I could see myself going in here more frequently, but I never quite expected you to visit this place more than once.
I tripped in the first time. I thought, I'll be honest, I was surprised it wasn't a brothel.
Well, all right. Well then, let's go for a swim. Yes. And I will open the doors to the bathhouse, throw in some coin for the people at the gate to not pay attention or to just pay for entry.
Yeah, and people will, knowing who you are, will ask if you're looking for the lady. And assuming you say yes, they'll guide you to Margot, who's currently with Madeline. And she'll smile.
Are you two in a bath area or just in a socialized area?
Oh, it's a bath area. Well, it's
Okay.
a large area, so there's room to do both, but there is a big bath in the middle.
Yeah, and you take off your clothes when you enter these things, right?
You can if you want.
Excellent. I will walk in with nothing but a towel.
Do towels exist then?
They do now.
Okay.
Well, they do, but they're probably not as comfortable as we're used to. It's probably going to be, they're
Fucking
much less comfortable.
It's okay. I am a Canaanite. I have fortitude.
God,
Damn it, Max.
Oh
Damn it.
God.
I have fortitude. My nether regions have fortitude.
Say, oh my God, yes, that's right. Glorious. I also have fortitude.
I have fortitude. My nether regions have fortitude. But yes,
Yeah, as soon as the two Gangrel enter, Madeline will get up, and she will greet the both of them.
as will Margot.
Please, it's good to see you. Please come join us.
Oh, well, my apologies. I didn't know you had guests. Once more. It's so good to see the both of you once more. Thank you so much.
Dristin, sorry. Shall I say Dristin, Miriam, how are you?
Oh, God, what's up, Tim?
No one can say any of the shit that I just said inside chat.
Oh.
Tim just went 350% ghetto on me. I'm sorry, but that was just a little too ghetto for me. I'm back. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh shit! Oh damn! I know you ain't been to America then. I got some stories for you, Peter.
Yeah,
but
I know this is mild. I know this is mild, but yeah, I'm a poor European that doesn't know anything.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. We all know what you can do with potence. Hey, just
Anyways,
Hey, Margot's got all three.
Okay, back on topic. I think Peter's actually gonna get annoyed.
Anyways, yes.
Madeline will just offer some food around. This is like mortal food. And she takes a sip of wine.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, I will actually go for a bit of a swim.
Of course.
I will throw my towel away and just dive into the bath.
Tristan, have you been practicing your dancing?
Yes, I have. Still not as good as you, but maybe one day in Well, maybe one night, and perhaps a decade or two I will get there.
I shall smile and nod.
So, how is everybody doing this fine night whilst the city is on fire?
Doing well. I was just telling Lady Madeline of other K-Nuts attacking attacking Edessa a few nights ago, and me along with others defending the city. It wasn't much of a challenge, though. Obviously, neonates and weak ones at that. They could be, of course, as Madeline said, cannot afford for a bigger attack. But whatever it is, some of them have been caught and will be, well, interrogated.
Disturbing.
A necessary evil. Something that happens with Cain and Cainite. All the same.
Oh. But that does explain why the rain was so strange.
Needed steps were taken as to stop the fire.
Ah, yes. Now I see. So that is what my... Ah, yes. I understand now. Thank you.
How about you, Miriam? How are you growing? How is your fondness for this city growing? I hope you don't mind it being somewhat of a eye in the storm.
Beerham shrugs. This is what it is. It's the city. A city filled with Canaanites, as cities are wont to be. Can't say I hate it though.
Good. I'm sure if you stayed, you will be a good member to the society. Well, yeah, I'm sure if you stayed, Edessa will be proud to have you, as we already are.
I look forward to that day.
I hope you do not. I hope you look forward to the nights, but that is neither here nor there.
Really? Really? Okay.
Marco will chuckle.
I will have issues with you if you look forward to the day, young lady.
I feel so bad about existing that sometimes I just want to go outside and meet the sun.
It's okay. It's okay. I will tell you another story about the good gentleman behind the hill.
All right. You've bought yourself one more night.
Perfect. Yes, John. Where you at?
Junior Ancilla, neonate, and a gangrel Ancilla, neonate. Nothing wrong can happen here. Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely.
The tag team match of the century!
Well, Lady Margot and Lady Melon just sit there eating popcorn.
Where are we?
Bathhouse.
Bathhouse. Sure, yeah. Aldrich makes his way over to the bathhouse. Lady Margot having extended the invitation multiple times, like she do. And yes, he yeah, makes his way through the doors of whatever customs one usually goes through at Lady Margot's.
I hope bringing this poor kid alongside him.
Hmm.
No, you are left behind.
He quickly closes the
Such
door
is my
behind
destiny.
him, so you can't follow.
Such as my destiny.
But Aldrich has come before, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the usual cool. Will
Remember
guide
that
him.
one poetry night with the...
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cool. Wait, do I have? I keep saying that, but do I? Yes, there we go. This lady will smile and say, "Oh,
Damn, you told me she looked like that.
Aldrich, right?"
Pardon me,
True,
you
I
have a...
keep forgetting.
Pardon
I
me, you
mean,
have a...
Margot has pretty people working for her.
Pardon me, you have a titty out. No, he doesn't say that.
Shall say, Sir Aldrich the Wise. Do you wish to see the lady?
If she is not busy.
No, well, she is with other members of your kind, but she has not asked to be alone with them. You can join them.
Very well. He looks back to Nicholas, gives him a nod.
So,
Yeah. When Aldrich nods, Nicholas just returns it in kind.
So for Nicholas, this is the first time entering. This is a luxurious, bathhouse, looking a bit with a bit of a Roman touch to it, and yeah, all the work, everyone here, or at least everyone that seems to be working here, it's very beautiful, beautiful men, beautiful women, and this one here that's on the picture will guide you to another room deep inside the bathhouse, which is bigger than the other baths, and it's a what are you doing, Minicam? And she'll guide you to a bigger room where this bunch of people will be waiting as long as soon as Minicam stops being a shit.
Yeah, he's not going to go anywhere that Aldrich doesn't lead him into.
Mhm.
And
He's a nice little obedient lapdog.
Marco, when they walk in, Marco will stand once again. Ah, Aldrich. And then she'll see behind him and, oh, I see you have brought company tonight.
Yes. It's good to see we are in well company. My apologies for not sending a missive in advance.
No worries. This is a place where our kind is welcome, unless I have said otherwise. Who is your friend, might I ask?
Aldrich takes a step aside, gestures over to him. He says, "This, friends and strangers alike." Casts a glance over to Miriam, who he has not met. Dristan, who he met briefly, and says, I just heard the side chat. It says, he says, "I introduce you to Nicholas de Pedrosa, newest addition to Edessa."
And
He bows to people, to everybody in there.
Marco will show courtesy. Hello. Hello, Nicola. I'm Lady Margot de Cornier, Primogen of Clan Torridor. And this is my domain. You are welcome here whenever you please. And she'll turn to the other K-Knight to introduce themselves.
Yeah, Madeline will. Madeline is not wearing anything. She will come up and she will bow firstly, or curtsy firstly to Aldrich, and will say, "It is so good to see you again. It was well good of you to join us. And you, a very good pleasure to meet you. Nicholas de Pedrosa? Pedrosa?
Nicholas
I am pronouncing it correctly.
Nicholas de Pedrosa. And
Nicolas de Pedrosa. Oh,
the pleasure is mine, my lady.
please, I am no lady, even though people insist on calling me it. I am not one. But it is a very good pleasure to meet you. You are in good company. Ulrich is a fine man. Please, the two of you can join us if you wish. And Madeline will probably do more or less the same thing as Tristan just did. She just gets into the water and she swims a little, and then she lies looking upward, but lying at the bottom of the water, not coming up. At least up for the moment.
When she steps into the water, Tristan will come out of the water, his ears twitching a little bit. Oh, hello.
Sorry, choked on my own tongue for a second. He says, he says, yes, see you again. I believe your name was Tristan.
Yes, it was. My apologies. I am not wearing anything. So you have to do with this. Spitty, and I'll look around. There it is. Hold on. One moment. 1 second. Hello, Aldrich Device. So good to see you once more.
You as well.
Put a towel around me or some shit. Look, towel. Who is your companion?
The newest addition to the city of Edessa. And he gestures Nicholas over.
Yeah, Nicholas slowly takes a couple of steps towards him.
Why, hello there. I am Tristan of Clan Gangrel. Who might you be?
I am Nicholas de Pedrosa of Clan Tremere. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
It is indeed such a pleasure to see you. Welcome to the city of Edessa.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So good to have more join us in these nights, or rather arrive in these nights.
We shall certainly need them, as I've no doubt some night soon Edessa shall be known as the city on fire.
Oh yes, that was. If I may be so bold to ask, Aldrich the Wise, that rain, was that you?
Afraid not.
Oh. There's another one with such capabilities? Oh, all right.
I know of at least 2 such individuals, but as to whom the cause was, I cannot be certain.
Oh, all right. Oh, I'm gonna look over my shoulder to Miriam. Miriam!
Is it my turn to introduce myself yet?
Yes. Come
Okay.
on.
I'm Miriam. Good to meet you.
Is she? How close is she?
I don't really know. Like, I mean, did Aldrich like walk? Like, I assume is he still at like the door, or is he like trying to walk in?
Yeah, he would have specifically when Dristan addressed him, he would have gotten closer, maybe a couple feet away, in speaking range. And I imagine Nicholas came over. He's probably not too far as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miriam's not that far away from Tristan, which means that Miriam's not that far away from Aldrich, which means Miriam's not that far away from Nicholas.
It's a chain reaction.
Combat
Yep.
positioning. No.
Roll initiative.
Aldrich, she's in the water, right?
Yeah.
He'll crouch down and extend a hand.
How much do I want to be on Road? No, she's going to meet him equally. This is going to be hella awkward. Fuck it. She specifically gets up to meet Aldrich's gaze, but not like in a threatening way. And she takes his hand.
His eyes do not leave hers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
After that moment's over, because God, yeah, we're just gonna skip over that moment. That happened. She'll look over to Nicholas and say, "It's nice to no longer be the new one."
Wait, what did she say?
She said, "It's nice to no longer be the new one."
He
I'll repeat that
nods
slowly.
his he nods his head and says, "Glad to be of service."
She'll look over at the group and say, "That was it. I didn't have too much else to say."
Well, I believe that was very good for you. Well done. I'm just gonna put the towel on another fucking chair again and just let myself slowly fall back into the water. Just underneath it. Just like
Aldrich finds a good place to sit down, not far away, that is not in the water, where he can keep his wang inside his robes.
Why the fuck would you deprive me of this?
Nicholas just follows his lead.
Marga will say 10 but just puts her feet in the water, at least for now. And Nicholas de Pedrosa, what brings you to Edessa?
I am here to receive training from my lord here, my lady.
Ah, I hope you... Well, do you plan on staying?
If fate allows it, I will.
I hope they do. I like to meet new people. May I ask where you hail from?
I hail from the Catalan shores, my lady.
I shall nod. I hope your journey has been safe and pleasant.
Thank you for a kind wish.
Such long roads can be quite tiring, even for our kind. And, well, we never know if you are.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Hmm?
You cut out a little bit.
Okay, she'll say, such journeys can be tiring, even for our kind, and we never know who can be on the roads at night.
He nods.
The gangrel doesn't say anything.
The Tremere doesn't say anything about the gangrel.
She ain't clanist. I mean, she used to travel herself, so she's not going to make that judgmental call.
So, if I may ask, what was the topic of conversation before our intrusion?
It was that. Translated from his unholy language, it also means we were discussing the attack from a few days ago.
There's a large boop coming up from beneath the waters.
I see. Aside from the interest in the weather, what fascination?
Miriam will shrug and say, I don't know too much about why they're interested, but weather was weather for me.
I see. Has anyone gathered any additional information regarding our assailants?
No, not since they were taken down. And, well, I assume they're with the prince now. I assume they're with the sheriff now, shall say.
He nods. To our new friends in Clan Gangrel, have you heard the sort of horrors that have existed within and around Odessa?
I will slowly break the surface of the water. Just like. Which particular ones? There are many.
Nothing in particular comes to mind. Simply the flavor of strange.
I mean, that depends. Which exactly do you speak of? Are you simply referring to the strange activities around Odessa, its nightly activities, its activities surrounding the city, the activities befalling the farmlands, the activities befalling outside of the lands, the activities befalling underneath the city, or the activities befalling in the surroundings of it all, or inside the city? There's a lot.
Aldrich smiles faintly and waves a dismissive hand at Dristan. So you've answered my question then.
Well, yes, it was. Well, let me tell you. I've been to a couple of cities, but this one is very much alive.
I'm afraid so.
No, that's good. That's good. It would be so incredibly boring if it was dead.
I suppose it would. I take it you're not a man for silence.
No, if it was silent, I would be on my way to another city. Constantinople's currently quite a hubbub of activity, but it's not exactly my style. Perhaps I'll continue to go east to the lands beyond the sun. That'll be an experience. I haven't been there yet.
Well, as Madeline pops her head up, if you were indeed wish to take that, Trevor, might I suggest that you stop by the tea house first?
The tea house?
Yes, it is built in, well, apparently the style of the Far East. And there is at least one of its inhabitants that comes very much from very Far East. Perhaps
Oh, really?
I can give you a pointer or two? Perhaps.
Perhaps. Who would they be?
Linshan, I believe her name is. I must say that apparently their names elude me. Their pronunciations are hard, but she is supposedly from very far away. She does look different. And the style of her business is different.
What blood does she hail from?
Oh, I do not believe it is a secret. She hails from Clan Ravenous.
Ah, I see. That might be indeed very interesting. Thank you for your suggestion. I may, in fact, just go do that.
I was there not too many nights ago. Delightful company.
Is there any sort of attire that is more appropriate? I assume simple peasant clothing is not accepted.
I have not experienced something like that myself, but it never hurts to be at your very best as a dress.
In my opinion, it does, but that depends on the experience.
Ah, I see. Yes, then it very much would.
Well, I would argue that the best depends on the situation at hand.
Yes, I agree. For example, currently I am dressed at my best.
So you are, Margot Wasmar.
Miriam now ships that.
God damn it, Tim.
You think I'm fucking around?
I know you're not. That's a problem. This is a problem, young lady. I'll just continue making the weird butterfly arm swings to plow myself through the water.
Margot will look at the water, smile, and she'll take her robe off and get in the water too.
And then the water was filled with everything pretty.
Yes.
Everything pretty and Miriam.
And you, I mean, it was a long time ago, so.
Out of character, I had a moment to think.
Snow. Oh god, yeah, there was snow. Fuck it. I must say, there are some rather strange weather activities going on and around. But well, the last period of time, the good gentleman of the hills has been very upset with it all.
See, strange indeed. Though I am quite grateful for both instances personally. Have they been a hindrance to you and your gentleman?
The weather patterns? No, not at all. Not to me personally. But perhaps to them, maybe. Maybe.
I see. My condolences, and my wishes that the weather shall remain clear.
I cannot say that I do not welcome changes to the weather. It will quite surely provide a difference to many people's lives. Perhaps they will endure this as they have endured many things and will endure many things in the future.
Well, as long as it does not attract any sort of hunters, I am all happy.
Well, we've had enough for them, at least for now. But if they do come back, well, we've gotten rid of them once.
Lady Margot, your sense of adventure tickles me as well. We've enough of them for now. Perhaps there shall become a time we thirst for those who wish us undone.
Well, with some of the things that we have been encountering, Ulrich, I do believe that if I could choose, I would choose the hunters.
He nods. The most recent foe was a bit taxing, was he not?
I would certainly prefer fighting a hunter rather than what we faced that night.
What did you face that night?
Was that question pointed at anyone? Because Aldrich's going to start like looking around first to see if someone else
just
answers
like,
before.
what did you say that night? That was awfully. That sounds like a good story. I'm interested in the story.
Well, the ones that seem to be the underlings, the minions, were some kinds of Sure thing. Sure thing. Shadowy limbs put together, forming a somewhat humanoid shape. The other was, I'm not sure how to describe it.
Oof, that sounds unpleasant.
The other one we have seen before. Some infernal entity that perhaps is vanished for now, or perhaps for good. We do not know. But it is. It seems to have been handled.
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, it is just one thing that we might have handled now. We still have quite a few things lingering in this city. One of which is the source of all of this. The source of all this infernal activity. The sooner we can get rid of that, the better. But, alas, I do not know. Well, I know some things of it, but well, while we can be patient, there's quite a few moving parts to this, where we are quite small parts. Means that we, for the moment, can only wait.
Oof, tell me about it.
Madeline just looks at Tristan.
I mean, yes,
She
please.
doesn't say anything, but she's looking at him as though she's saying, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to tell you about it." But
Tristan is looking at Madeline like, no, seriously, tell me about it.
oh, she has a smug smile on her face.
Ah, my dice.
So, kind of, how many of y'all are just like literally just naked in a bathtub?
I
Like
am.
half of us, Evan.
Excellent. I am so tempted to just appear in the bathtub. You have no idea. No.
That would be a domain breach.
I'm very good at those, don't you know?
Oh, Volga knows.
But no. I assume that I assume that it is okay for me to enter into your fine establishment, Nelson.
I mean, if you enter quietly, well, not quietly, but if you enter the proper way, nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, I am capable of entering buildings that are not through the means of you can't see me, tra-la-la-la-la. Because now I don't even think Aldrich can see through my obfuscate. But
I see your XP spends have been kind to you.
they have been kind.
He's Obfuscate 5, huh?
He is going to appear, and he's going to do that lean thing that he does. So he's going to be leaning in the lintel of a doorway, just listening to the conversation, whilst a bunch of people are apparently half naked in a bathtub, and he's just going to kind of contemplate
I mean,
life, the meaning of everything.
Someone would, if he gets in, someone would like guide him to the room and announce that someone's there.
Okay.
But Margot will smile. Saladrin.
There's a very slight bow. He will say, "Ah, yes. Good evening, all. I trust that life has been, or rather, existence has been kind to all."
It has been alright.
Good. I'm so glad. My apologies. I did not mean to disrupt your conversation. Please, carry on.
Well, it is quite fitting. We were just discussing your vanquishing of that, well, one of the problems that we currently have. That hopefully is less now. But other than that, yes, we still have many problems.
That would depend, he will say, upon your definition of problems and your definition of solutions.
Quite. I have one solution. But it requires something that I have mentioned for some people. But in not insignificant part of us would have to risk ourselves for the betterment of this city. But if we do so, we have a good chance of stopping this madness in good time before it becomes any worse.
Oh, and what solution is this?
Boy. Saladrim, I would love to discuss this in a more private setting, if you would allow it. I have certain applications of who I can and who I cannot speak with.
I'm gonna P&E that because I'm curious as to see like if it's resonating who you can't speak to in body language. Let's have a go.
What dice roller win?
I have no idea.
We haven't set up one yet.
Ooh.
Damn
Bad
it! No!
post of a scene.
That will be dice roller 1, right?
Yeah, why not? That
On a
works.
side note, because Max is here, Max, I kickstarted Lunars. That is all.
Yeah, buddy.
Mhm.
Okay, that doesn't work. Oh, no.
Yeah, for some reason, Discord's been really weird. Like, for example, in Dublin, it was letting me roll, but wouldn't let Bishop roll for no apparent reason. So I guess I won't be P&Eing you. There you go.
Give it a shot.
Default.
wow.
Default. No.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. Well, I have 7 successes to P&E that as well.
Jesus.
Now let's see if the dice are with me or if they're not. Oh, see, it's doing the same thing again. It's being no, it's now letting people roll.
It is just being laggy, so just give it a moment or 2 or 5. Yeah.
Holy shitballs, Robbie.
Yeah. I'm really interested. If and that's if like I do want to say that if her body language like gives off like that sort of thing, then sure, but like otherwise you just tell me how she's feeling right now.
I mean, depending on people in general, it seems quite matter of fact, just basic. She's just saying, like, this is something I can't speak with just anyone about because this is sensitive matter. It's business-like, you get the sense that she's very careful about her words, and she doesn't necessarily care whether or not some might take this the wrong way. You get the sense like she is she needs to be quite sure that she will speak with one person and one person only about this at a
Gangster.
time. And yeah, seems quite serious.
He'll shrug and he'll say, "I'm always and eternally at your service when my time allows it, Lady Madden."
Of course.
Speaking of your time, if I may be so bold and frank as to say, I was not expecting to see you so soon.
Contemplates those next words and he says, "Are you though?"
Yes, as I've said, not expected to see you so soon.
How to phrase? We are all nothing but the sum of our masks. Every one of us. Masks that in one way obscure us, in other ways build us, in some ways destroy us, but in all ways revert to masks. So, you are seeing me as I am now. If you are seeing me as I was, well, then that's an interesting statement.
I'm just
Words.
looking over towards Miriam. Towards Miriam at that statement, just like, hey.
Interesting words
Sorry,
you've chosen, Solodron. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna say she returns to work.
But yeah, Aldrich says, what interesting words you've chosen. My curiosity grips me at again. I'd like to ask. You're not obliged to answer by any means, but what, pray tell, is your mask doing to you? Is it destroying you? Is it building you?
If we are the sum of every moment that we live, does that mean that the value of a moment when one possesses more becomes greater or lesser? The fact that time for us can stretch beyond the bounds, beyond the stratum of humanity, we may have many more moments. Does that make each moment more or less valuable?
I do not question moments.
So it is. Why is it destruction and rebuilding must be, or why is it destruction and building must be separate concepts? After all, does the snake not eat its own tail only to continue in the circle?
I suppose if you say it is so, be an expert in such matters.
I rather fancy myself an expert on snakes.
Well, Saladrim, I did not take you for such a philosopher. I must say this is a surprising aspect of you I have not seen. I wonder, has it come with contemplations of imprisonment? Well, not of you, but of others.
And thus it was when he stood beneath the stars and screamed into the void. When it was that the very stars themselves were forced to hear in that moment the birth screams of the cries of man, was the void moved by his sound? Did it care as it looked down the unpitying heavens upon what was man? Or did it simply contemplate vast impossible blackness, the fact that man is nothing? Can one be imprisoned if one is ultimately free?
Perhaps not, but I was thinking more recently and more earthly. in the sense that you were imprisoning people in Elysium. That is what I thought of about imprisonment. It seems an unconversional sense of just slamming the door shut, but again, I did as you commanded and tried to find the young girl. I have found her. She is of no danger, by the way.
I have no doubt of that. She is trifling with powers that she doesn't understand, poor thing, poor pet. But then again, we are all playthings of higher purposes if we choose to deign to give the higher purpose time of day.
What is up with all the day stuff?
In time of night, then, if you would prefer, Master Justine.
That works.
Have you been spending your nights with the Malkavians? You speak in such poetry.
No. Before I masked myself with he smiles. Before I masked myself with the visage of one who cared. Now I am masking myself with the vision of the snake, who is. Philosophy is at the core of heart, gentlemen and ladies. It is at the core of the being that is all. Ultimately, the expression thereof, the ability to speak, breathe, think, is a blessing.
I agree.
If I remember my philosophers and thinkers, I also heard some things of the East. Is it not so that the intellect, the ego, must forego its use for one to be truly free? The one to reach the highest aspects of one's contemplations of philosophy?
That assumes the value of the one, Lady Madeline. The value of the individual. Whereas, from my philosophical perspective, the individual has no weight. The individual exists only to die in a higher service than they themselves.
Well, would that not be damning for you?
Why?
Well, then you would say that you are indeed imprisoned by your own ego. You would not be able to forego it.
He contemplates as he looks at his nails on his hand, and he says, "The answer to that is simple. A prison can only contain you as long as you allow it." He spent the last 2 days just reading pseudo bullshit philosophy, so you guys are just getting it all on, fucking tap there.
It's good. It's good. Pardon my sass, but
It's fine. I mean, I'm half expecting people to just go, "Why did you murk the bastard?" in about 20 seconds. Don't worry about it. No, it's all good. Yeah, I kind of feel like we should pause the ORP until Nelson comes back, because I don't want to say like anything serious and profound just to get it like fucking cut halfway through the sentence. Because to quote Tim, Evan, when you roleplay, you monologue. Damn right I do. If it helps, if I wasn't a Setite, I would found the first Church of Max. It would be pretty cool. Maxism. So then we'd have our schism, which was Mighty Maxism, where everyone just wear really stupid, red hats with M's on them. If you're old enough to get that cartoon reference, you're amazing.
sorry, could you repeat that? My attention was divided.
I said then we would have our first schism, which would be from the Church of Maxism, which would be Mighty Maxism, where we would just walk around wearing derpy, sports caps with M's on them.
I don't think
I
I've
do
seen the
not
film.
understand. I do not understand that reference.
I think I actually do because I'm old.
There you go.
My guess would be Mighty Ducks.
No, there was a TV show. It had Mighty in the name. There was a TV show in the 90s called Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Ironically, where the main bad guy was voiced by Tim Curry and was amazing.
I love Tim Curry.
There you go. There's also an amazing, it's like 24 episodes long, a series of Peter Pan called The Adventures of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys, I think, where fucking Tim Curry voices Captain Hook, and it's glorious.
Mm.
There you go.
There you go, kids. So, John, how are you doing?
We're still live, people.
Oh, that's right.
God damn it. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, it's not as if we have a lot to talk about, except shit talk Saladrin.
I mean, you can try and shit.
I'm trying insane.
Now, I was just being. I wasn't going too crazy.
All right.
I mean,
Host is back. So
it doesn't seem to phase him.
Welcome back.
anyways, Saladrin was saying stuff about philosophy and
I believe my point at the moment was you can only be imprisoned if you allow yourself to be imprisoned.
yeah, and Madeline will just nod and smile at that, and she'll just say, "Indeed." But I suppose that requires the prisoner to be able to see whether or not they have indeed escaped the prison, or they are still firmly behind bars. But let us not bore the others, please. I hope that you have not been disturbed by the recent problems, fires, and the like.
When it is that one stands upon the highest of points, were man to stand upon the bridge of the Tower of Babel and launch an arrow skyward, could he as yet smite God?
First of all, I could not say. Secondly, is that not, what shall we say, just hearsay? From your perspective, the Tower of Babel.
To answer the point, no, I have not been affected by fires or commotions. I have been in contemplation.
I'd like to ask in all curiousness,
Mm.
a very honest, pure sense of the word. Where has this taken place? Or the spread of you denouncing your domain?
Ultimately, when one is shackled to a place, one becomes a servant of the place as much as one becomes self. I have merely given back what was gifted to me. It is my intention that I will be traveling for some time. I may return in due course, but there are pieces to a puzzle I would have answered.
Well, now you've indulged my curiosity too far. You fed it. Puzzles are something of a hobby.
Oh. Very well. Where shall we begin? Stories, stories, stories. So, shall we begin in Constantinople? Or shall we begin far before that? Maybe. What happens when you see surrounding you enemies on all sides? You see that there is no hope. You see the thing that you loved with the purest of loves, is snatched away from you, taken via the machinations of fate. To what lengths do you fall? To what lengths do you debase yourself? In that moment, do you go where angels fear to tread and make deals with things blacker than abyssal black? When all is nothing and all is dust, so too will you become. So, why not risk everything for the chance? For power. I need to answer the question as to whence this came from and whom made dark deals in the night, so that Edessa can yet sleep for another ponderous sleep. Perchance to dream. Puns. Puns are wonderful.
Was that in character?
Yes, he laughed like that entirely in character.
Whoa.
And did he say puns afterwards in character?
Yes, puns. His exact words were, puns. They're wonderful.
So you intend to leave the city? Or what if one was to have a missive to send to you?
I would suppose that if you required me so urgently, if you were to give it to a representative of my clan, they would well be able to find me.
Very well.
Constantinople is a good place if you want to start at that particular trail of breadcrumbs.
No, the trail already has left Constantinople, my dear Master Drytson.
Where's
No.
it going?
It's a good
And where
place
is
to
it?
start at it.
Is it,
It'll take you to Athens, then throughout Greece, going through an old empire and eventually leading you back here.
These sound like they are the same places in which you placed your own footsteps.
Yes, although I would avoid Athens for now. Yeah, last time I was there, it wasn't quite pleasant.
What happened last time you were there?
Well, let's just say that the city had a situation in where it had to bar entry to more Canaanites to its gates. It did not allow more of us to be given entry into the city proper. I'm not too familiar with the details, however, there was something involving a curious effigy, light, something along those lines.
Is this the missing treasure you seek? This light?
Who, me?
No. He gestures to Saladrin.
Oh, okay.
Not at all, Master Aldrich. As a matter of fact, we already have the treasure that I seek. However, I need to understand the treasure itself. I know I think how to break it, but not what it will do if I do.
Interesting.
Just be sure to have the proper circle set up when you do.
I always have the proper circle set up, but thank you, Master Drytson.
Excellent. I remember the one time where this one man did not have the proper circles set up and still had his penis when he started the incantation. That was a problem. Yes. That was worrisome.
Sounds like a painful experience.
Well, here's the thing. Several incantations state, but I state the words, I stand here before you without gender, without form, and therefore, in my experience, it has been the best way to summon a creature is to rid yourself of all of this.
Sounds painful indeed. Shall smile.
I pray that you do not do much in the way of summoning.
No, not me. Not me.
The he gives him a very knowing, very masculine nod.
I mean, is not Jerry Adams, is Jeremy Irons allowed to give non-masculine nods? I don't think that's how that works.
I usually play him as very effeminate, but in matters of penile removal, we get, you know, very.
Madeline will get up and she will say, I have learned enough that when the conversation goes to this for too long, I am afraid I must be elsewhere. I have never seen the need to focus so much on these things, but oh well. And she smiles and begins to say goodbye to everyone, and at Saladrin she will just say, can the two of us meet perhaps at Omar's? Maybe tomorrow evening? Saladrin is uncharacteristic.
I didn't know who you were saying that to. He'll nod and he'll say, my travels do not take me elsewhere for a day or so. That is agreeable.
Anyway, please, everyone have a very good evening. And thank you, my Primogen, for a very wonderful evening. You are a great host as always.
Oh, thank you. It is always to have you here. It was always great to have you here.
And Madeline will say goodbye to everyone, and the player will go to bed.
Thank you.
Good night.
On a side note, when she said, I don't really give such thought to these things, my immediate response was, yeah, unless it's Torvald's penis. Damn it, I should have said something. Damn it. Passed. Curses, spoiled again.
Curse owls. I will get up out of the pool. Reach for the towel. Thank you so much. I believe it is also time for me to head on out. I need to refill my bowls of sour cream.
In that case, I shall also take my leave. It has been a pleasure. And Master Aldrich, may I give you a piece of advice?
He gestures with his hand. That is welcoming but passive.
When the stars are extinguished one by one, and the moon cries blood, when all else has become screams, when it is that you feel as though the nothingness is upon you, at that point, hearken to the fact that even to us, embraced in shadow, there will come the dawn.
I'm curious. Why? Why me?
Because I sense when it is the clarion calls. He says this as he turns and is leaving. Because I sense when it is the clarion call is sounded, and when it is the trumpets ring out, that you may be the one to stand against the selfish, the soulless, and the mad. But only time will tell. Maester Dryden, I walk you out? You can tell me more of the sour cream of yours.
Oh, I sure. Just allow me a moment to take and gather my clothes real quick. I am just walking around the place, and when I have gathered up all my clothes, put them on. No, I'm not going to strip and put on my clothes on as much as you'd like, Evan.
Damn it.
I mean, Robbie said it before I could. That's all I choose to say.
I've been waiting for years, Max.
Tonight.
Tonight? Excellent!
I said tonight, you motherfucker.
It's all right, Max. We all know you said tonight. I mean, it's okay. You don't have an accent or anything. What are you talking about?
I don't have to be here. You can just send me the live link, bro.
And all of a sudden, this scene just became more Black Dog than anyone had ever imagined. Ever.
I'll walk over to Margot and say, Primogen Marco, thank you so much for extending your hospitality again this night. It's been wonderful and quite relaxing. I needed a bath. Thank you very much.
Always, my dear.
Until next time. La la la.
I like to think as they leave, we are discussing the merits of putting chives in sour cream.
Yes.
That is, yeah. There we go.
I see. What's the name of Robbie? What's the name of the girl that was hurt in the last scene? Aldrich's friend.
Morphia.
Margot says, Aldrich, I must ask you, how is Morphia? I hope she has recovered from the other evening.
Indeed, she has. She is well.
Send her my word. I hope she's well. I'm glad she's well.
And he nods very sincerely and says, I shall do so as soon as we are done here.
Such awful things that happened to her. I'm glad she made it out.
Indeed. What if the force was striking the walls of Edessa, seeking to burn the walls of Edessa? Held strength. Not enough. But strength.
As long as I remain in this city, I will make sure that whatever comes to attack the city will not have enough strength to take it down.
He smiles very, very fondly at that. It says, this is why we are friends.
I shall nod. I shall smile. Well, my taste for luxurious things that some might find petty. But above all, above all, I treasure the safety of this city, or the safety of wherever city I live in, and its good members.
Mm-hmm.
He nods. Have you any wine present?
Yes, if you wish so. And she'll tap her hand, and some mortal will come in and serve him some wine or whatever he wants. Raisins, fruits.
Won't you drink with me?
Obviously, you can spend blood to drink, right? I think.
I
If
think
you
you
don't
need.
have.
Can you?
I'm not sure, so you know what she'll say, because she doesn't have the eat fruit here. She'll say, yeah, unfortunately, I cannot.
I see. Very well then. I shall toast and drink for us all. He raises his glass and says, to the well-being, the health and prosperity of the city of Edessa.
She'll raise her glass, which has something that's probably not wine in it.
And Aldrich will take a sip.
So will Margo.
And is there anything anyone else wants to do in the scene?
I'm good. I think we can call it a scene here.
Mhm.
Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing. And see you on another episode of Edessa, The Dark Crusade. Season 2!